the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American man, woman, and child, primarily right here, the majority of us in America, Babylon the Great, Mystery Babylon the Great, but also scattered across the four corners of the earth, living like the other nations, but through the Spirit bear witness that they are, in fact, indeed the true children of Israel, right, which are the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American man, woman, and child. If I haven't said it, shalom to the hopeful elect, shalom to the house of David, shalom to the elders that have been doing this thing, that have been laboring and doing the work, and we and the younger men have just entered into their labor. Shalom, shalom. Right, so prophecy update. As we draw near to the end of this age, this kingdom, prophecy, prophecy, prophecy. It's a beautiful time we living in. We're going to hit the precepts and maybe the same precepts. The Lord don't change. The message don't change. The prophecies don't change. But but we got to continuously watch. We can't get faint. We can't get weary of hearing these prophecies, because at the end, it's going to get a kingdom. At the end, it's going to pay off. So again, shalom to the brothers and sisters scattered abroad. Shalom. We almost out of here. We almost out of here. But before we get out of here, it got to get worse. It got to get worse. The Lord's about to make us uncomfortable. But we got to have the faith and believe and know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he's going to protect us. He's going to aid us. The Lord didn't bring us this far to leave us. Don't let these demons and the flesh and these scoffers and scorners tell you otherwise. But I want to get straight into it. Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse number 25. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. So, we all know, if we've been watching, we just seen recently that Trump was on this big Trump peace campaign. Peace 2025. He wanted to get the Nobel Peace Prize. They ended up giving it to some chick, some Eve, I believe, a Northern Kingdom Eve, or a woman of another nation. Can't really tell. But there's no peace coming to this kingdom. And as we go through these various events, which there's more things happening, but throughout the week, I go through events to keep up, to do a prophecy update at the end of the so-called work week. The seventh day, the Shabbat, the rest day. So there's more stuff happening. The Lord's bringing his judgment. I'm going to get that too every day. So it may be some stuff you heard, but nevertheless, these things it's the Bible coming to life. Verse number 26, mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests and counsel from the ancients. So this is what we're seeing. Mischief and rumor, and the Lord will speed things up, then things will die down. But we're living in a time where the Lord, this whole year just been action-packed, filled with just prophecy. As today is so-called November 1st, and the Lord put the spirit on this damn devil to take away EBT, which we rejoice in that. The nations say they're scoffing and saying, yeah, good for them. And we all know the numbers. We know it's a lot of Edomites. It's a lot of so-called white people. Everybody benefits from so-called EBT or SNAP. So it's really, the Lord has mingled a perverse spirit to think that these things are for our destruction. This is for our deliverance, man. But we don't want you to know. We don't want the nations to know. We want you to be, the Lord said, and I don't want to go off and get on to rebuke the nations, but Job chapter 2 and verse number 4. I'm going to start at 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? And that's what these people are doing, thinking that the Lord forsook his people. Right? The Most High, he's not going to forsake us. If it was up to the nations, we'll be done. Verse number 2, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. And that's what the Lord is doing to our enemies. He's having them in derision. As we get this first thing I got queued up. So this from the independent.com. It says 2 U.S. Navy aircraft go down 30 minutes apart in South China Sea. Now, they say they don't know what happened. Of course, they're saying they don't know what happened. But we know whether they were shot down or, is this sound? Hold on, Salaki. I didn't know it was sound. I'm going to play this and I'm going to read a little bit. Oh, it skipped. Salaki, I never used this before, so I'm just going to read it. All right, man, it's going. So this is from the independent.com. It says the U.S. Navy aircraft have gone down in the South China Sea in separate incidents within 30 minutes of each other, according to the U.S. Pacific Fleet. President Donald Trump described the back-to-back crashes as very unusual and suggested a possible fuel issue while speaking to reporters on board Air Force One on Monday. During his flight from Malaysia to Japan, they think it might be bad fuel. We're going to find out. Nothing to hide, Sir Trump said in response to reporters' questions. So this man's a devil, man. He's lying. And then even if it is bad fuel, that's bad for you. It's bad for you, Esau. If it's bad fuel, that's beautiful for us. It's bad for you. That means when you're claiming you're the big top military, and you claiming that you're gonna overcome the Russians and the North Koreans and the Chinese and the Iranians, your planes are falling out the sky because of bad fuel. Which I believe it could have been the angels that took them down. It could have really been bad fuel, or the Chinese could have shot them down. They're not gonna tell us the truth. The only thing we have is the scriptures. But the point is, they're falling. They're becoming weak. The Lord is exposing them on all levels. So it'll be beautiful if it's very unusual and it's just bad fuel, because everything that you do is going to come to naught. That's what we're saying. The Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, he's going to make sure everything that you do comes to naught. It's Jacob's time. It's our time, family. It's our time. They had their time to rule. So again, the Lord's going to have them in derision. He's going to, verse number 4, Psalms 2 and 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. So the Lord's going to vex them. Everything that they put forth their hand and do is going to come to naught. Everything. I'm going to go to what I got next. Shut up. All right, this NBCnews.com. Trump calls Russians missile test inappropriate, but is Putin's nuclear power weapon actually a threat? Yes, it's a threat. It's the first of its kind. What are you talking about? Is it actually a threat? To Babylon, of course. The main reason that no one else has tried to build something like this is that it doesn't really have any use. One expert told NBC News.
Wrong people, I'll tell you what.
It does. The Lord created it. The Lord put them up there to create it. It does have use to destroy Babylon the Great. President Vladimir Putin as Russia's army command center in a video released Sunday. Russia says it has successfully tested an experimental weapon that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. A nuclear-powered cruise missile with unlimited range, whose low-flying, terrain-hugging, and loitering capabilities could evade American missiles, defenses, and drop atomic bombs anywhere on the earth. Russian President Vladimir Putin said Sunday that Burevestik, meaning storm petrel, a type of a seabird, was indeed a unique weapon that no other country possesses. And look at his face. He's sure of himself. He's sure. This man is not worried. If there was a face that was ever unbothered, it's this face. He's sure. All right, let me get a couple. And again, Lord, I was going to do a lesson. Missiles are in the Bible. As a matter of fact, we're in the book of Psalms. So the Lord is putting their mind. I want to jump too fast. The Lord's putting it on their mind to make new inventions, new missiles, to destroy Babylon the Great, to destroy this place. Right? So I'm going to get Psalms chapter 7 and verse number 12. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. These are the instruments of death. Do we have a visual? Let's see if we get a visual. No, we can't get a visual of it. That's all right. That's all right. But I'm going to go back to the precept. If he Psalm 7 and 12 again. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow. He hath made it ready. He hath also prepared from him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against his persecutors. So missiles are in the Bible. What is the bow of steel in Job? Job chapter 20 and verse number 23. When he is about to fill his belly, which Esau is doing, taking benefits and making new task force and taking down the White House, everything that this man is doing, when he's about to fulfill his belly, when he's about to fulfill his mind, your belly is your mind. When he's about to accomplish everything that he wants to do with his mind, his so-called NWO, his New World Order, so-called. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So when you good and your security, when it's everything peace and you finally think you got the Israelites rounded up and you finally institute the famine of the word, seems like everything's going your way, Esau. We're telling you through the words of our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, this was going to happen. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. The Lord is going to put the spirit on our enemies, your enemies, to destroy you from off the face of this earth, to deliver the elect, to set them in the secret place of their pavilion. And in a set time, we're going to come and we're going to get you. And this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24 and verse number 20. 1. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones that are high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days they shall be visited. So you put us up in prison, you're going in prison, as soon as the Lord destroys this place. Then the moon shall be confounded, your wisdom, and the sun ashamed also, when Yahweh of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously. When the Lord raise up the ancient men, when the Lord sets the order back to our nation, the elect is going to be glorified. As soon as these missiles, again, NBCnews.com, Putin claims Russia successfully tested a nuclear-powered missile and could revoke a global test ban. But this new nuclear-powered missile that he got, the waster to destroy. Let me close that out. Let me get that, matter of fact. Let me get Isaiah. We in Isaiah. Let me just type it in up here. Waster. Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. So the Lord, it's not normal. It's not the Lord didn't create man on the earth to say, okay, now I'm going to create a missile to wipe out billions of people. That's Satan from the left-hand side. That's when death entered into the world. That's after our forefather fell, Adam fell, which is the Lord if you have ears to hear. But that's why the Lord said he made man upright in Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, but men sat out many inventions. This is an invention, but the Lord put it on their mind to make the waster to destroy. Verse number 17, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. So we're seeing the weapons formed against us. We see the task force. We see the enemy coming in, about to come in like a flood. So we're going to see the enemy, but we have to know that there's a power that ruleth in the heavens, that always deliver our forefathers and foremothers. We must know this and believe this. And every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and the righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh. And that's why we teach the law, statute, commandments. But our righteousness is in Yahweh and his only begotten son, Bahashem, in the name Yahweh Shai. The laws govern us. Yahweh Shai sets us free. We must know that as well. And faith in his name. Not only knowing his name, faith in his name is what's going to get us out of the situations and the things, the testing that the Lord is about to put us through. All right, so I'm going to go to the next slide. What's this guy talking about? Oh, these guys don't want to fight. But these are the men that say that they're the mighty men of David, that they are the beloved of the Most High. But this is from YouTube. It says prefer death over IDF. So Israeli Jews riot in Jerusalem, refuses to serve military and fight Hamas. So why didn't you want to fight to defend the homeland? Let me keep reading. I'll let it play. Beat his ass. So you see the link. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'll skip it. Look at them. You see? But are these the men that David had mighty men? You know, they go to the mighty men of David. So why they don't want to fight to defend their land? That's just a question. That's just a question. Let me get where is it? Okay, here it goes. 2 Samuel 23 and 8. These be the names of the mighty men who David had. The Takamite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains, the same was Adino the Enzite. He lifted up his spear against 800 whom he slew at one time. You had men that would have a spear and kill 800 men at one time. Is it them? Are these the guys that don't want to fight? They don't want to fight in their war against Hamas. Is it them? Do they descend from the men with one spear would kill 800 men at one time? It's just a question now. Look at them. Verse number 9. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo the Ahite, one of the three mighty men with David, when they defied the Philistines that were there gathered to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave to the sword. And Yahweh wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned. So you get what I'm getting at, right? So you see that the men of the Most High were mighty. These men, this is not might. All right. So you get what I'm saying. And I got to keep that. I'm not going to close that out. I got to watch that a couple times. All right, that put me in the spirit, you know. So Isaiah 2. Isaiah chapter 2. Isaiah chapter 2 and verse number 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Now this, according to the men in the land now, in the Holy Land today, that all nations, according to this prophecy, all nations should supposed to be flowing unto the land. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh out of Jerusalem. They don't even keep the law. Verse number 4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. But they're fighting war. So if the people of the true people of the Bible are in the land, why is there still war on the earth? As you clearly can see, nuclear missiles being created, nuclear missiles being tested, war, death, bloodshed, evil. Why? Because we're not back home yet. We are the people that's going to go back home, and then the world's going to be at peace in a short time. Short time. This is, I mean, this is beautiful too. I'm not really going to get it. This is from the newsobserver.com. It says, should Triangle home buyers be worried about government shutdown? What experts say. It says the federal shutdown hits the 4-week mark on Tuesday and is slowly beginning to ripple through the Triangle housing market. So this is a bad time to the end of all to join into this world, to think you're going to make it. The Lord saying, let it go. Let it all go. So everything, this shutdown is destroying everything. So this is going into home buyers and how I meant to close that out. But this place is done. This place is done. But let me get a precept. Doorkeepers. That's beautiful too. I should have kept it all. I closed it out, but because the house buyers. But what's the Lord said was going to go on? Ecclesiastes. Let me just get it. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse number 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and that's what these different homeowners and people with the mortgages, the light bill going up. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the door shall be shut in the streets. The Lord is about to shut Babylon down. When the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So the Lord about to shut this place down again. Shut it down. Burn it down. Raise it, even to the foundation thereof. That's what's coming. That's what our forefathers seen is coming. Right? So what's this? From the NBCnews.com again. It says, Trump orders Pentagon to start testing nuclear weapons on an equal basis with other countries. But hold on. He just said last month, 2 months ago, it's all about peace. So why are you testing nuclear missiles? Well, let them do what they got to do, but you just preach peace. See how hypocritical this man is and this nation is that we're in? It's all about peace. So let them do what they want to do and overcome with peace, like they tell us when we go out and read the prophecies. It's all about love. So call Putin and say, look, man, it's all about love. This is a Christian nation, right? It's all about love. Peace, peace, peace. So why are you testing nuclear weapons? Damn hypocrite, man. The Lord's going to destroy you and everything that pertains unto you. And the Lord's going to bring this place down to the ground. This is from South Korea. President Donald Trump said Wednesday, and he had instructed the Defense Department to immediately start testing nuclear weapons on an equal basis with other nations. Because of other countries' testing programs, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. Trump said on Truth Social shortly before his highly anticipated meeting with the Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea that process will begin immediately. But what did the Lord say? The Lord say it's going to come to naught. The Lord say it's going to come to naught. So yeah, that's beautiful. Let me get Joel 3. Oh, I'm typing in. It's Joel chapter 3 and verse number 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. And this is the start of the valley of decision. The Lord is setting these nations up to go to war against each other because the Lord is a man of war. And so it says the U.S. voluntary halted nuclear explosive testing in 92, so 33 years ago, though it has the ability to restart tests as a site in Nevada. But Babylon going to continue forever. Hey, we're living in the end. We're living in the last days. This is it. This is it. We got X. So as you know, I'm just going to go hit them in order. It may not be in order I wanted, but hey, man's going. So it says, this is Eve. It says a so-called black woman threatens to hunt down, roast, and eat white people if government assistance is taken away. Now, mind you, this today here is the November 1st. So where's her mind at? Because the government assistance has been taken away officially as of today. So is she eating people? Where's she at? So the Lord said these times will come. These curses is coming back. We're living in evil, perilous times. Look at her face. She meant what she said. Look at him eye. Look at that spirit. Look at that spirit. As the U.S. government shutdown stretches into the 29th day, federal food assistance teeters on the brink of collapse, sparking vile outrage. In a disturbing video, a black woman unleashes a graphic threat against white Americans, vowing to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you if aid vanishes. Right, so you Edomites better watch out because she's on the loose. You better call on Jesus. Because she's on the loose. You better call on Jesus to save you. You know? So, let me go into the curse, matter of fact. Let me get Deuteronomy 28. Hold on. Deuteronomy 28 and verse number 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest, throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which Yahweh thy God giveth thee. So that siege is coming back. So them taking away aid, that's the siege. That's the Roman army coming and about to siege our people. It's nothing new under the sun. You got to read the Bible. Read the Bible and see how the Lord get down on our nation with our enemies. They starve you out. They give you no food, no water, and they have you bow down, capitulate to their image, to their gods. Nothing new. And it's always a remnant that trust in the power of heaven. Verse number 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yahweh thy God have given thee in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thy enemies shall distress. But I'm going to go to verse 7. And Yahweh thy God will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them which hate thee, which persecuted thee. So this curse is now coming upon our enemies. Now, this will happen to our people, and it's going to happen to the other people. The point is, people is about to lose their mind for the lack of food. So this is second Ezra chapter 15 and verse number 18 and 19. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So it's a lot of people like this. That's roaming these streets as we speak right now. What we got next? Oh, more war. More war. So this from theguardian.com. Ukraine war briefing. Putin boasts of nuclear-driven torpedo that would swamp cities with radioactive tsunami. So he's testing on sea. He's testing on land. For what? To play? This man's not playing. And I said it earlier, so I'm going to get it. Well, I thought of it. The Lord is allowing this to happen because the Lord is a man of war. Exodus 15 and verse number 3. Exodus 15 and 3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. And so is the only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. They're men of war. That's why the Lord is allowing war to happen upon this earth. Revelation chapter 19 and verse number 10. Revelation 19 and I'll get straight to the point. 11. And I saw heaven open. And behold, a white horse, which is a chariot, a so-called UAP. And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. Shalaki. So in righteousness, our king is going to make war. It's not going to be unjustly. The Lord's doing everything that he's about to do on this earth in righteousness. How do we know it's the Lord? His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had no name written. He had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And the elect know the name. The elect know are of one mind of a Mashiach Yahushua. So, and then truly, nobody knows how to the exact point or the day or the hour when the Lord is coming back, or how many people is going to be put down and deleted in the land of the living, or even what certain things that the Lord kept for himself. But we're going to find out in that day. We know what we need to know. Verse number 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh. That's right. The Word of Yahweh. And the Lord said in Exodus, his name is in me. So we know the name of the Heavenly Father is only begotten Son is Yahweh Shai. So again, Ukraine war briefing. Putin boasts of nuclear-driven torpedo that would swamp cities with radioactive tsunami. And that's coming. Thus saith the Most High. Thus saith the Holy Bible. So, this is from TheVerge.com. Satan trying to take away the word. Drop my phone. So it says, ICE is building a social media panopticon, whatever that is. Let's see real quick. Don't be ignorant of anything, great or small. A circular prison with cells arranged around a central well from which prisoners could at all times be observed. Wow. A prison. So ICE is building a social media prison. The agency's latest surveillance contract is an assault on democracy and free speech. As Immigration and Customs Enforcement carries out raids across the country, the agency is working rapidly to expand an online surveillance system that could potentially track millions of users on the web. Federal workers uncovered by the lever reveal that ICE is paying $5.7 million to use an AI-powered social media monitoring platform called Signal Labs, something Will Owen, the communications director at the Surveillance Technology Oversight Project, or acronym for STOP, calls an assault on democracy and free speech. So you see that? So, hey, look, this man thinks he's the Most High. And they got that eye again, that evil, wicked eye. Hey, so this man is watching. So this is going to bring forth what? This is going to bring forth the famine of the word. We already see the actual famine brewing. But the famine of the word, Amos 8. Amos chapter 8. Hold on. Let me just get Amos chapter 8. Let me just go to it for the sake of time. Amos chapter 8. Amos chapter 8 and verse number 11. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. And this is going to bring forth the famine. Them watching, because what are they going to do? They're scanning. They're scanning the media. They're scanning words. So soon, eventually, channels are going to be taken down. And the only oil and the only way you're going to be able to hear this word is what you have. That's why it's so important to meditate on these words wholly and give ourselves wholly to these words, because it's all we're going to have in the days to come. Verse number 12, you don't want to be a foolish virgin. You want to be a wise virgin. Verse number 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. You're not going to be able to find it. And that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. So, hey, it's going to be a bad day if you don't get this word now. You want to be a wise virgin and obtain this knowledge. Matthew chapter 25 and verse number 8. Read the whole Matthew the 25th chapter, but I'm going to read verse 7 and 8. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. So we're supposed to be trimming our lamps, storing up, knowing how to apply these precepts, knowing how to trust in this word before the darkness come. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. So this is going to bring forth the famine of the word. Don't let the Lord tell you in that day, I know you not. You got to be trying to know all you can to know about the Lord as you can, to store up all that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the much you can, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. Because it's coming to an end. The Lord is shutting this thing down. Shutting this thing down. Let me get spring shut. Right? Don't let Satan take away the word. But stand still. It's in 2nd Ezra. Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse number 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Because this word is water. But the Lord is going to turn the water off. And they ain't going to be, and you're not going to know what to do. And I want to get pertaining to the article again. Esau is watching everything. He about to shut this thing down. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number. I sit in the seat. Can't hear it go. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Because the Most High see everything. So Esau says, like, I see everything like the Most High. I am the Most High. And they about to start shutting and taking things away. ICE is building a social media panopticon, or a prison. The agency's latest surveillance contract is an assault on democracy and free speech. So there you have it. A part of the famine of the word is coming. So it says, this is from nytimes.com. Trump officials move into military residences in D.C. area. So why? Why now? Why when the SNAP is taken away? Putin is testing nuclear submarines, new missiles. Kim Jong-un is testing new missiles. You're about to invade Venezuela. Why now? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth moved into a home at Fort McNair, traditionally reserved for the Army's Vice Chief of Staff. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and others also now live in military housing. Why? What are y'all scared from? Ultimately, you know this. Ultimately, you know, or your spirit knows. But it ain't no getting away. This Revelation 6 and verse number 15 and 16. And the kings of the earth, which will be the Hegseths and, your Rubios, your Bidens, these are the kings of the earth. And the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Only the elect, only the elect, only the remnant, nobody else. So they in the houses now, but there's bunkers in them houses. But again, we read in Isaiah 24 that the elect is going to come get them. We're going to come get them. When the Lord comes, who the world called Jesus Christ, come back, Yahushua in the Hebrew, and we're going to establish it, and we're going to teach them righteousness. We're going to teach the world righteousness. That's what we're going to do. So last but not least, political.com, and they always show our people, which is folly. Nearly 42 million Americans lose their food stamps. The lapse in benefits could be temporary if the Trump administration complies with the recent court order requiring them to use emergency money to fund SNAP. They're not going to do it. Lord willing, they don't do it. Now, we don't want to see our people perish, but the Lord loves judgment. He hates robbery for burnt offering, but the Lord loves, this is judgment time, man. Millions of low-income Americans are losing access to food aid as the nation's largest anti-hunger program goes dark for the first time. So this is the first time that this ever happened. Congress failed to reopen the government before funding for supplemental nutrition assistance program ran out Saturday. A federal judge in an 11th hour decision directed the Trump administration to use emergency funds to pay for food aid in November. But even that wasn't enough to prevent the immediate lapse of benefits, which officials say could take weeks to resume. So, hey, there you have it, man. And what does the Lord want us to know? I'll end off with this. Matthew chapter 4 and verse number 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. And this is what we have to know. That, yeah, it's about to get tough, but these are the words we got to live by, and the accounts we got to live by. So I give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Wamalak, Yahushai. Shalom to the elect. Until next time, family, shalom.